The weekend in the AFC West has been nothing short of electric. Every score, every upset, every twist and turn has set the stage for what could be one of the most defining Monday Night Football clashes in recent memory. And the wildest part, the Las Vegas Raiders didn't even take the field today. Yet somehow, Raider Nation walked away with one of their best Sundays in years. The Chiefs lost. The Broncos lost. And now, the Raiders stand on the edge of history, staring down the opportunity to seize control of the division, something they haven't done since the early 2000s. The weight of that possibility is massive. This is more than just a game against the Chargers. It's a statement. A chance to finally reclaim relevance in a division that has eluded them for over 2 decades. Start with the Chiefs. The powerhouse of the AFC West, the team that has owned this division since Patrick Mahomes put on a Kansas City uniform, suddenly looks ordinary. Today, they fell to the Philadelphia Eagles 20-17. And it wasn't just a loss, it was a humbling. For the first time since 2014, the Chiefs are sitting at 0-2. And here's the kicker. This marks the first time Mahomes has ever dropped 3 straight games. If you include the Super Bowl defeat to San Francisco, that's not just surprising, it's seismic. Mahomes has been the symbol of dominance, a quarterback immune to prolonged struggles, and now the cracks are showing. Andy Reid looked frustrated, the offense looked sluggish, and the aura of invincibility that defined this team feels vulnerable. Suddenly, they're human. Suddenly, the AFC West is open in a way it hasn't been in years. And with Baltimore looming on the schedule, after a likely win against the Giants, there's a very real chance the Chiefs could be sitting at 1-2-3 after 4 weeks. For Raider Nation, that's not just good news. It's a window. And windows like this don't open often. Then there's Denver. Oh, the Broncos. Their game against the Colts was theirs to win. They had it. They just needed a defensive stand and maybe one heroic kick. Instead, they collapsed in spectacular fashion. A 60-yard field goal attempt to win it missed. Wide right, short, and you thought that was it? But no. A mental lapse, a personal foul for jumping over the long snapper's back. Gifted Indianapolis 15 yards and a second chance. From 45 yards, the Colts drilled it, stealing the game 29-28. The Broncos walked off the field stunned, dropping to 1-1 and carrying the weight of another wasted opportunity. It's the kind of gut-punch loss that can linger in a locker room. And with Sean Payton still trying to stabilize a franchise that's been in turmoil since Peyton Manning retired, this one stings. Raider fans couldn't have scripted it better. The Broncos slipping, the Chiefs stumbling. The road is wide open, which brings us to Monday night. The Raiders versus the Chargers. 2 teams carrying years of bad blood, 2 fan bases that can't stand the sight of each other, and 1 division up for grabs. If Las Vegas wins, they sit alone atop the AFC West at 2-0. For a franchise that hasn't tasted first place in the AFC division since 2002, that is monumental. 22 years of waiting, of heartbreak, missed chances all, of it comes to a head under the primetime lights. But it won't be easy. The Chargers are dangerous, fresh off a Week 1 win over Kansas City. They've been hyped as one of the top teams in football. Justin Herbert remains a quarterback capable of putting up monster numbers, and despite their inconsistency over the years, Los Angeles has weapons that can hurt anyone. For the Raiders, this is a test of grit, discipline, and composure. The injury report adds another layer of drama. The good news for Raider fans is massive. Brock Bowers, the rookie sensation, practiced and looked sharp. Just days ago, there were whispers about an ACL tear, a potential season-ending nightmare. Social media was buzzing with worst-case scenarios. But now the diagnosis is clear. A PCL sprain, nothing career-threatening, and by kickoff Monday, could be close to full strength. For an offense that needs playmakers, having Bowers on the field changes everything. He stretches defenses, creates mismatches, and forces opponents to respect the middle of the field. His presence alone can tilt the game. The bad news, however, is equally significant. Jackson Powers Johnson is out with a concussion. And this isn't just any concussion, it's his 3rd, dating back to college. That kind of history raises alarm bells. The NFL has seen what repeated head injuries can do, with Tua Tagovailoa's situation serving as a haunting reminder. Without JPJ, the Raiders turned to Alex Kappa, a reliable but less dynamic option. The offensive line was already shaky, and now it's a glaring question mark. The Chargers, led by defensive mastermind Jesse Minter, will smell blood. Expect them to dial up pressure, testing Kappa, DJ Glaze, and Jordan Meredith. If Geno Smith doesn't get time to set his feet, turnovers could pile up quickly. One mistake, one bad interception, could flip the game. So how do the Raiders win? It starts with Ashton Ginty. The running back is more than just a bruiser. He's a playmaker who thrives in space. Last week, he had 38 rushing yards, but an astounding 45 yards after contact. That stat screams one thing: the offensive line is failing to open holes. If they can't give him daylight, then the coaching staff needs to get creative. Line him up wide, throw him screens, let him use his agility to make defenders miss. Pair him with Bowers and Michael Mayer in 2 tight end sets, and suddenly the Chargers' defense is stretched thin, forced to cover every blade of grass on defense. The Raiders' mission is simple but brutal: make Justin Herbert uncomfortable. A confident Herbert is a nightmare calm, accurate and lethal. But a rattled Herbert is mistake-prone, second-guessing, and vulnerable. That's where Max Crosby comes in. This is his game. Crosby has heard the talk about Joe Alt, the Chargers' prized rookie tackle. Monday night, Crosby has the chance to silence it all, to remind the league that he's still one of the most feared pass rushers alive. If Crosby sets the tone early, hitting Herbert, forcing hurried throws, the entire defense feeds off that energy. Discipline is just as crucial. Keenan Allen has been Herbert's security blanket for years. And last week, 6 of his 7 catches went for either first downs or touchdowns. That cannot happen again. Force Los Angeles into 3rd and longs, then close the door. And don't forget the ground game. The Chargers want to establish it, use it to set up their devastating play action. Stack the box. Take it away. Force Herbert to win it alone. Of course, the battle in the trenches swings both ways. Khalil Mack, the former Raider, still wreaks havoc. His matchup against DJ Glaze could define the game. If Glaze gets overwhelmed in one-on-one situations, Geno Smith will spend the night on the turf. Chip Kelly's offensive system isn't built for constant double teams, so communication has to be perfect. The Raiders can't afford blown assignments or free rushers. On the flip side, the Chargers are dealing with their own line issues. With Rashawn Slater out for the season, they've shuffled rookies and journeymen into key spots. Joe Alt at left tackle, Trey Pipkins at right. That's opportunity. Malcolm Kuntz and Crosby can feast, collapsing the pocket and forcing Herbert into mistakes. If Las Vegas wins this game, it'll be because the defensive line took over. And then there's the intangible intensity. This game will be physical, violent, desperate. Both teams know what's at stake. For the Chargers, it's about maintaining momentum and living up to hype. For the Raiders, it's about rewriting history, shaking off 2 decades of mediocrity, planting their flag at the top of the AFC West. They have to bring the edge, the swagger, the fight. From the opening snap, they need to hit harder, play faster, impose their will. It's wild to think about how fast things have shifted. Just weeks ago, the narrative was simple: Chiefs and Chargers at the top, Raiders scratching for scraps, Broncos rebuilding. Now, the Chiefs are winless. The Broncos are reeling. And the Raiders have a chance to control their own destiny. Tomorrow night isn't just about one win, it's about perception. Beat the Chargers, and suddenly the league looks at Las Vegas differently. They're not a sideshow. They're not a footnote. They're a contender.